And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel, guys. Welcome back to my channel. So this video gonna be a continuity of the last videos we did, right? So, and today video we're gonna dig into the Mara and we're gonna try to finish everything that we have been started since before. So if you don't miss this opportunity of learning for free, guys, just make sure to join the community by sharing this video, by liking this video, and also the most important part, guys, to subscribe to the channel. Alright, so I'm gonna open MIDAS and we're just gonna start from where we left off. Okay. Let me just do this. All right, so since yesterday, like okay, it's 2 days ago now, since the last day that we did the first video, we figured out that we finished designing the columns, the columns, right, and also the plan of this house, right. But right now, as I said before, for robot structure analysis or MIDAS or any structure and software, we don't need to design we don't need to design staircases, because staircase is not part of, I mean, the outside staircases, they're not part of structure stability, like it's just like accessibility of the house, right? So we don't, this was just like, for the complete design, right? But we don't need to design this, right? So that's why we're gonna on today's video we're gonna focus on the opening wall for the window, which can be used for window, and also for the floor, for the floor slab. We didn't use the roof. We just use we just use the concrete slab, right? So it means that the concrete slab gonna have the same material that they're gonna have, the columns and the concrete slab, they're gonna have the same material. Okay, so and also we're gonna also have an opening for the to customize the door, right? You can use this opening for the door. And yeah, that's all. And then after that, we're gonna apply the forces, and then we're gonna see the stability of our house. Okay, so let me just open MIDAS, and then we're gonna. All right, so this is our design. And if you go here on hide, let's go here on hide. Yeah, we can see that I just add some wall. You just remember the picture that I show you. You can just take a screenshot and then try to compare how you can try to manage. I'm gonna also do the same because I need to know where to put it and where to not put it all. So let me just open it somewhere here on my phone. So I'm gonna see how I'm gonna do it. All right. So my phone will give me the complete picture. So here, first of all, we can start with the flow. So we have two flow. We can simulate the flow of some forces later on, like one way slab or two way slab, or we can try to use the nodes. Well, I mean the mesh, so we can divide the roof with different nodes, like a lot of multiple nodes, right? And we can form a roof, a floor, like a floor slab of nodes, okay? And that's gonna be the only method that you can do right now, because the last video I show you how you can, even this video also later on when you apply forces, I'm gonna show you how to simulate the roof forces, okay? So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna set the roof as I said before. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go on node element, and under node element, I'm gonna go on my right. So my top right here, you can see auto mesh. Just click on auto mesh. Let me just adjust the camera property. Okay, so auto mesh, we have auto mesh here. Since you're using nodes, as I said before, you have to change the method to nodes, and the type should be quadrilateral, and we can use the triangle, we can use the quadrilateral to plus triangle, but I'm gonna just pick the quadrilateral, and for the include in array of nodes, we can change if you have some specific nodes, but I'm gonna just leave it automatic. And for the include boundary connectivity, I'm gonna also leave length. It's really important. Never use dive, just use length. Okay. But sometimes it depends on your structure, but it's most important. It's just like it's better to use length. And for the element type is plates, but we can change to plate stress, we can change to plate strain, we can use to asymmetric, but I'm gonna use the plate, we're gonna use the plate. And for the material, since we defined it, I told you about the material, but in the reality, most of the time the roof, we can change later, the roof, the wall and the column, they have different, sometimes they have the different material, right? But most of the time they have similar material. Most of the time they use concrete, reinforced concrete, okay? Or some people they use bamboo, some people they use bricks, some people, we have a lot of type of material, right? Fiber inside the concrete reinforcements. So we have a lot of material. And for the thickness, this is really important. All of the thickness, I'm gonna take the same. I'm gonna take 0. 0.2 and 3, okay? And from down, I can just apply it. Let me just adjust. Let me just do this. And for the subdivision boundary line element, I'm gonna also click it, okay? And after that, I'm gonna just apply. I want to make sure first of all, before I click on apply, I'm gonna scroll until mesh because I use node method, so I need to select those nodes. So I'm gonna click on the empty box here. You're gonna see gonna turn to green. So I'm gonna start from this. Let me just activate the nodes number. Like here, let me display the node number. I'm gonna click here. So I'm gonna start off node 15, and then I need to end up to node 15. So it's like a square. It's like, you know, it's like a closure, right? All right. So I'm gonna start from 15. It's like a loop, a closed loop. Okay, sorry. 15 to 17, 17 to 13, and then until 11. From 13 to 11. Then after that, it's not over yet. I need to go back to 15 from where I started. Okay, and after that, I can finalize my auto mesh by clicking on apply. Now you can see we have our roof, right? We have our roof, and we have multiple, like a lot of nodes, right? Like a lot of nodes, and this is nice, right? This is nice. So this is the first step that we're gonna do, and later on in the next video, I can show how we can modify the thickness of the floor. Okay, so now on the opening is really important, and I'm gonna just close this window. I don't need it anymore, and what I'm gonna do here, let me just adjust this part. I'm gonna go back on I'm gonna go back on create elements. I'm gonna go and create elements on the menu here. I'm gonna go on create elements. I'm gonna go on elements, but I'm gonna change the create element to, let's see, wall opening. Okay, wall opening. So this is where you have to use your mathematics, because when you're designing house, you have to know all of the measurements. But I'm gonna just make a video for you to show you how you can do it. But okay, if you wanna make it perfect, you have to have a specific dimension. So let me just start with this part. Let me just start with this wall. As I said, in what direction? This is how much again? I told you 5 or 4. It should be 4, 5. So this should be 4. So this is 4, right? This is 4. So it means that the length of this one is 4, and the height is 4.5. Do you remember, right? So all of the column they have 4.5 meter, right? Okay. So since we have 4 and 4.5, and the door should be at least be because there's some tall people. There's some tall people, right? We need long doors, right? So people that can fit properly, right? So they want to make the short door, and then someone, people are amazing though. All right. So what I'm gonna do, I can just take at least 2 meter door, all right, or 1.8. Let's just take 2 meter to make it to simplify this. Okay. So I'm gonna go here. Here, if you see this opening type here, you see W is the width of the door. It can be used as the length of the door, all right, and the height you can take 2 meter, right? So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna just start from. Let's go on opening. I'm gonna just first of all select this one. To select it, just go here on select single, and sometimes it's tricky if you have a lot of elements, but we can just state it from here. No. So it's kind of like we have to hold on first of all. Okay, let me just remove this. So okay, so this has been selected, right? You can also select this by rotate this part. You can have a nice angle, and then you can select this. Okay, so now I've what I need to do, right? So this should be the door part. So we have 2 doors and we have 1 window. So this door here, the width, if you go on dx is the distance between this part and this part. As I said, if this is, I'm gonna take the width, the width of the door to be 2 meter. To be let's take 2 meter. So this is gonna be 1 okay. And let's just go here. First of all, so the dx is the distance between the opening. Let's just change it first of all let's put it in the middle. Let me just put in the middle first. Okay, let's see this. Let's change the x direction. Okay, for dx, I'm gonna take 1. So maybe if this is 1, this one should be also 1. dy, dy is the height. dy should be the height from this top to this top. Since this is 4.5, so if you take minus 2 for the height, will become 2.5. So 2.5 divided by 2. So in this case, they just take 2.5 divided by 2 is something like 1.70. Okay, let me just take 1.75. Okay, 1.75. And the opening, the width, as I said, the width should be 2, and the height should be also be 2 meter, or 2 meter. Okay, we can adjust this later if we are not satisfied. And the merge duplicate node should be checked because we're gonna create some nodes here and subdivision frame. I think we can just leave the way things are, like don't change any, don't make any modification. Then I'm gonna click on OK. Now I have an opening. I have a similar opening, but I'm gonna arrange it later. I think this can be like a window. Let's just do this first. I can adjust this later in the next video. Let's just do this because it should be subdivisions. So let's do this. Okay. So sorry. First of all, I thought that I'm doing window, right? That's why I try to manage the size differently. Okay. So this should be the door. I just checked the picture right now. This should be the door. This should be at the door. This should be a window, right? So if it's about door, it should be like slides, different steps that you have to follow. So I'm gonna repeat the same thing that I was doing. So as I said, I need to select these parts, but since I selected this before, it was the last selection that I did. I can just go here on select previous. Here on select previous, it's gonna be selected. Then after opening the elements and then change to wall opening, right? As I showed you previously. Now the changes, we know that the height is 4.5, right? The height, right, from the floor to the top here is 4.5. So I'm gonna put dx. So dx, and we know that from this x direction here to the y direction, this distance here is 4. So I'm gonna take 2. So this part here, this x should be 2. Okay, the x should be 2. I'm gonna push my door a little bit on the right. Okay, so I'm gonna put 2. So this x is 2, right? I'm gonna push the bits here, this side on my right. And dy should start, because the door should start at the edge, right? The edge. But I will take 0.5. 0 point, like a bit distance. I'm gonna take like 0.5. Let's say just 0.5, and then we can put a window later on, or just 0. Like we'll just leave a little bit of space, or let's just take 0. Let's just take 0.1 or 0.2, maybe just a little bit of distance. The opening size, the width, as I said before, since I took 2 here, so the width, I'm gonna give the same width, like 2, or let's just take 2.5. And the height, I'm gonna just leave 1 meter on top, minus 1 meter on top minus this 0.2. So I'm gonna just take 3.5 because this is 4.5. So I'm gonna use 3.5 plus 0.2. Okay, and 0.2. So this is gonna be our door height and the placement of our door. Okay, and this is not all yet. And now, since I'm doing the door, I don't need to create another. I don't want to duplicate a lot of error of frame and a lot of nodes, so I can just uncheck everything. So I don't want to have a lot of nodes, but uh, both okay, but I don't like a lot of nodes because it can be more complicated. But you can change it later if you don't want it, or if you want it, just click on apply. Now we have our door. Okay, this is the first thing that we have to do. This is the door. All right. So I'm gonna repeat the same process for this part. I'm gonna press escape. I'm gonna remove this change parts. Let's just see how it looks like. Okay, yeah, this looks like, we see we have a bit space everywhere. We have door space and everything. This is the opening part. So let's just see if you have a window, if you can place also window safely. So let me just go and check. Let me just close this part. and let me open it again. Let me just open it again. This is just go on create element. Create element. Let me just select this thing. Allow me this wall again. This should be a window part. This is gonna be more bit complicated because you have it's large, so you have to know all of the dimension. So I'm gonna go again on create element here. We have it already, so I'm gonna select select with single. Let's see if we can touch it. Oh no, okay, I can touch it. Let's just remove this previous one. So that's been selected. This is just a window that we have to create, and I'm gonna put in the middle. The window should be at least in the middle, right? Just to interfere all of the air quality. Okay, it's also my major the PC. We can talk about that later, right? Smart building. Let's just do this first, and let's see. We are using elements. Create elements should be opening. As I said before, it should be wall opening, and this should be in the middle. Now in the middle, everything changed, right? So the height. Just remember the height. The height is 4.5, right? So if you take 4.5, we can see if our okay. Let's just go on the width of the window. It should be automatic, right? The width of the window should be, since this is 6. You don't remember, this is 6. This is 5, and this is 6. This point, from this point to this point, is 6, right? So let's just say 6. So minus 2 2. No, let's just take 1 1 here. So we're gonna stay with 4. Okay, so let's just say our width should be it's gonna be a big window, so they just take 2 2 here. We're gonna stay with for 2 no, or they just take 2 2 2 2 2 2. They just take 1 1. Then we're gonna stay with 4. Okay, we're gonna stay with 4. So they just take the width should be 4. 4 means 1 here and 1 here, so stay with 2, and then plus the width of this window become 4. So 4 plus 2 equals to 6, and the height should be let's just take big window. It should be at least um which height can take? Let me just take 2.5. 2.5. 2.5 is much more better. And we only need to have one modification here, dy. So dy is the height from where you want your window to start from. So since the height is 2, and this is 2 point, and this is 4.5. So when you remove 2 already, we still have 2.5, because the height of the window is 2. So if you remove the 2 first of all, it become 2.5. So 2.5, I'm gonna just remove 1 here. I'm gonna start from 1 uh, to avoid robbery and some insecurity. Okay, I can just try to elevate it a bit less than 2, because you still have only 2 left, right? Would have had a choice, right? Still have 2 left, so I'll take 1.5. 1.5 at least. Then I'm gonna remove the duplicated subdivision frame elements. Then I'm gonna make sure it has been put clearly in the middle. Okay, so create a lot of nodes, which gonna be more beneficial later on. Okay, and also I'm gonna show how to modify everything later. And so here also I'm gonna repeat the same parts. I'm gonna just, so first of all, select it. I'm gonna go and select this. Uh, 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 uh. Let's unselect all. Let me rotate. Let me see if I can touch it. Okay, let's see if we can be able to select. No. No. Oh, my phone's about to fall down. Sometimes selecting is the kind of, since you have a lot of, but we can just select it using the table, but I'll just select everything then. Select everything. Let's see if we can be. Let's change the view and see if there's one possibility change. The only possibility is here. Unless I hide. Let's go here and select everything. Let's rotate the house. Since we create 2 nodes, let me unselect everything. Let's do this first. Okay, it has been selected. So it's kind of like a little bit tricky, like to select these parts because it's a wall, so you have to take the extremity. You have to click on the extremity or one corner. Since we have a total building already designed, so it's kind of like a bit complicated to select it. So you have to make sure. But for the tall building, we should actually design tall building. By the way, if you want to customize your house, if you need for me to do your homework about civil engineering or your thesis, your master thesis, your PhD thesis, okay, just hit me up. We have I usually put my email, so like just check out the description. You're gonna see the emails. Just hit me up and then I'm gonna respond to you. If I'm capable to do your work, right? If it's more about civil engineering, architecture, I can do it. But if it's more about things that I've never learned before, it's gonna be a little bit complicated. All right, so uh, here now, I'm gonna repeat the same thing that I did before. We have the same height of this. Just remember we have the same height. Do you remember so I'm gonna take um the dx, as I said before. This is called dy. First of all, dy was 0.1, 0.1. Dx is still this part. I'll take 2. I'll move it a bit. Since this one is how much again? This is 5. I will take 2. 5 divided by 2. Okay, let's say 5 take 3. We save 2, 2, 2. We distribute 2 on both sides. So 1x should be 2. Okay, so I will take 1. I will take 2. I will take 2. 2 here. So since we take 2 here, the door should be less than the length of the door should be 3. Less than 3, because otherwise if we put 3, we're gonna have any space for the door. Okay, so I'm gonna take the door, so 2, and I'm gonna stay with 1. Okay, the width of the door should be at least 2 now. So 2 plus 2 equals to 4, and this is 5, so we're gonna have 1 point here. And the height of the window should be the same. I'm gonna take 2.5. Just take 2.5 as well. And dy should start at 2. So 2. No, 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 no. No, there should be 2. The height should be 2, since dy starts for dy is 0. Sorry. Since dy is, we can take 2.5 then. 2.5, since dy equals to 0.1. Okay. Now we don't need to do any other things. We need to apply. Now we have our door, and it's gonna be a short door, but it's okay. Like this can be used for many other objectivity. Okay, objective. Sorry. I will close this part, and I'll also like for the other color to modify the color of the house. I'm gonna show the next video. So just make sure to join the community, guys, by sharing this video, by liking the video, to not miss any opportunity, guys. So see you in the next one. Bye bye.